Turbo John YouTube channel. So I'm over here at Paw Pal Performance, and guess what we're doing? We're waiting on the UPS man again. I've been over here at the shop for like 3 hours. Same exact scenario. UPS normally runs kind of early, so I hauled butt down here. We're waiting on Randy's turbo, and it's not here yet. So it's getting dark, but we're gonna keep waiting. Right, so we're over here. This is Mr. Paw Pal himself. What all do you do over here, Paul?
Tune, fabricate, build engines. We do just about everything there is to be done here. With any fuel injection system, we're probably best known for tuning fuel injection and electronic systems.
So he's got a lot of cars that are on this 252 list. While I've been over here for about 4 hours. No, 3 hours. 3 hours so far today. And I think all of the top 10 lists has basically called him today since I've been here. And so I've been over here and I've been listening. I'm listening. He's giving me a lot of pointers too. He's been tuning on cars for a long time. He does a lot of dyno over here. He works on grudge cars. He can build stuff. Awesome shop. And he got Randy a really smoking deal on a Precision 118.
Anytime you need anything from comp cams, Precision, Holly, or turbo, Precision turbo especially, just give us a call. We can always work you up a good price.
I got forced inductions on mine, Jose. I love his stuff too, but Randy wanted to get the biggest of the big. So over here on the floor, he works on a lot of grudge cars, but I mean, he's got a chassis dyno. He'll strap it down and make some pulls with it. So everybody on the 252 list that are in top 10, I'm at number 6 right now. And so like I said, I got some pointers and I've overheard what y'all are doing. He has given me all the secrets. Not all of them. He just gave me a couple little hints to where I can research for the next 2 weeks every night. But we're going to try to move up the list. Randy's car, I don't know if he'll ever take it to the 252 list. Maybe at some point when we get it sorted out. But today is Monday night, and we're trying to make Piedmont this Saturday. So we got a lot of work to do. So hopefully that UPS truck gets here in a hurry. They said guaranteed delivery by 9, and it's like 8:30. It's dark. They have missed 9 o'clock. He's on the phone with them. You can kind of see him back there. We're still waiting. Brian and Randy are working on the car. Well, I gotta hang out for a little while. Still don't have a turbo. Bow! We're here! Just like that, in not so short times. I just did my snap. Look. That's what they always do on YouTube. Snap, and you're I tripped myself out. Okay, look. Look at that big box. We got UPS delivery today. So exciting stuff. So he met me about halfway, so we didn't have to go quite so far this time. His shop's a little ways from us. So Randy's on the way. So me and Brian's out here. They got a lot done on the car yesterday. It's a lot of little nickel and dime stuff that takes time, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to put the turbo on it, and we're still waiting on a package from Race Part Solutions. Hopefully it will be here today so that we can have the pipe in to do the cold side and the down pipe. But turbo's going on tonight for sure. I'm about to go ahead and get started mounting the solenoids, boost control solenoids. This is how we're going to control our bump box. I've been watching a bunch of Devin's videos again. Devin Vanderhoof, he does a great job with setting up Holly stuff. And so one of the things that we set up was an advanced table making a bump box. So you do a bump out and you configure it. And I didn't really know how to do this. And it's pulse width modulation. And this is going to be his bump box, how you make it creep. He's got a very good video, you know, taking this and taking your time and going through it on how to set all this stuff up. So I set all this up on Randy's. So everything's in the computer where it needs to be as far as the pin maps. I've already assigned everything. So when you go to your pin map, pretty easy stuff to do. It's just, you see how we got everything pinned out, what needs to happen. So now we've got to just simply wire it all up to the correct pins. So this is how it's already done. So all the stuff in the computer is already done. So now we got to do the hard labor in here. So once we get the boost control solenoids mounted, the bump stuff, I'm gonna hopefully have all that stuff done tonight. We're gonna get the turbo mounted up over here, get the turbo on it, and hopefully if we get the parts for the cold side and hot side, we will finish that up. But you know, God, I hope that comes, because it's now Tuesday And so we've got basically all night. We've got about 6 hours, 7 hours we can work on it tonight. So we should be able to make a lot of progress. They got most of it done up under the car last night. So that's good. So we still got some odds and end things to do, but those odds and end things is what takes a bunch of time. And of course, you got to spin it. Wow, guys, this turbo is massive. So this is a Precision Gen 2 118 ball bearing turbo. And you can see down in there, the compressor wheel on this thing, of course, is forged aluminum that is billet CNC'd. And you can see way down in there, it's a little rougher cut, but out here on the edges, it's pretty doggone smooth. But this thing is a monster. It is huge. This one also has that center section that is a billet aluminum center section. But one of the things that's really different about this turbo is this turbine wheel. And it almost looks like it's a different material even. It's nice and smooth. I'm sure it's Inconel or some type of exotic alloy. But this is not a G trim. This is an H trim, which is one step bigger than the G. And I mean, you know, we wanted to have a ball bearing turbo, and that's the only way this one came. So that's what it is. It's got a 150 AR turbine housing. Randy's motor is pretty decent size. It's 420 cubic inches. So I don't think we're gonna have a problem spooling it, but we'll see. I could be wrong. This hub here is shrunk down quite a bit, it looks like, as well. So that turbine wheel is gonna flow a bunch of air. Trim wheel that has been clipped, and this is an H trim wheel that is not clipped. And the reason they clip these is to get more flow, and that's exactly what it does. So you can see the blade area here is cut back to where it's not straight like this, so it's going to increase flow. So this clipped G trim wheel is probably going to flow real similar to this non-clipped version that's a little bit bigger. The difference is, they say when you clip them, if you get to a certain point, you lose efficiency. Now, my 106 that I had was not clipped, so it was just like this one. So it completely depends on the turbo, but that's the difference between the turbine wheels. All right, what a long night. I hadn't been recording a bunch of stuff, and my wiring is terrible, but we got our relay up here in the dash. That's a nitrous solid state relay. We're gonna use it. The Holly is gonna be like the pulse leash, just gonna be our bump. So we got all that working, we configured that. We got the internal dump stuff set up, it's working. Brian has done most of the turbo kit. We just got one cold side pipe to do, so that's gonna be his single exhaust exit. At some point he will fill in those holes. Wow, that's a big exhaust, that looks good. So this is gonna set up here, so all this is gonna be fine. We're using the Wiggins style clamp to where you got some flexibility. The turbo is mounted. Those things are awesome. Down there in the bottom. So the blower duct is looking great. So we got a couple fittings we got to get. We got to get an oil line fitting for the bottom of the turbo and for the top of the turbo, the feed and the return. And really all we got left to do is make this little pipe. I just welded the one piece and we think it's going to fit good there. And then it's set. Internally, sensor wise, we got to mount the oxygen sensor. He's got all the wastegates plumbed. Of course, I hadn't got any of the dome sensors wired up. So I've got the dome sensor to wire up, and I've got 2 pressure switches to wire up on the transmission. One is converter line pressure. The other one is internal pressure inside of the transmission. So that's going to be pretty cool. So that's going to be interesting to log. Basically, the internal dump, when you go on the trans brake and you start bumping, actually, well, as soon as you get on the trans brake, the internal dump is going to open once it gets past like 70% throttle TPS. And then basically you're going to start bumping in, and you're not going to have a lot of fluid coupling inside of the torque converter. And so it should make it come on up on the chip where mine gets down there and goes blah, 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 and then goes ahead and goes up. This one should be a lot better. This one should go pretty smooth. And so, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Mine sounds like a transfer truck. Blah, blah. So we're making progress. I mean, you know, it's not, I mean, it feels like we've been working on it forever, which we have. I got over here today it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's now 12 o'clock. So we did get a solid 6 hours worth of work on it. So that is good. So it's coming. It is coming. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a problem, hopefully, making it. You can see we got all this stuff working, all the computer stuff. This is the external dumps, the way I'm going to do that. I've got to do some more research and see if that's absolutely the best way to do it. I don't know. So we got a few things left to do. Like I said, the wiring, I'll tidy it up with a little bit of zip ties. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the cleanest, but, you know, I'm not a professional wirer either. Wiring is not my best bag of tricks. So we're pushing this thing out. We got to wrap the exhaust tomorrow or Thursday. I actually won't be able to come over on Wednesday. So Thursday will be the next day I can come. I don't know if Brian and Randy can work on it tomorrow night or not. But so really from a wiring perspective, we're not bad. We're kind of close. I'm gonna have to daisy chain some of the sensors together. I'll have to find a 5-volt source coming out of the Dominator, out of the Holly. Once I get the 5-volt source out, and then I'll get the ground out, and then the sensors will come back in. So I'll daisy chain all the grounds together and all the positive 5 volts, and then of course the sensors will come back in. So I got 3 sensors to wire. I mean, it'll take me a few hours to do that because I am dirt slow at wiring sensors. I'm very optimistic we're going to be able to make Carolina No Time this weekend. That is Friday and Saturday. I don't know if we're going to make it down there Friday or not. Maybe, maybe not. It just kind of depends. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see. For sure, Saturday we'll go and at least, you know, try to bump in, make sure everything's bumping good. And Randy's a little bit nervous about trying to stage with a turbo car, but it's not too bad. He'll figure it out. It'll be fine.
I've seen the Turbo John video. I can do it.
He's seen some videos. He's been watching the video. Literally, if we get that bump button right, it should bump fairly smooth and not go, you know, it shouldn't be too violent. I mean, hopefully. So this is awesome. Working out pretty good. I mean, the turbo placement I think is awesome, and it's going to work fine. All right, guys, y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Go to turbojohnracing.com, pick you up some t-shirts, and hit that join button if you want to join us on our Wednesday night Tech Talks. All right, guys, see y'all later.